Guys, please confirm to me. All of you read my voice on screen. Those are attending online. Am I audible? Guys, please confirm to me. All of you read my voice on screen. Am I audible? Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Ashwini. Ashwini, are you from? I think you're from Mumbai, right? Yeah, nice. Good morning. Okay. Right. Good morning, guys. So what happened? Why people are not attending today? Fine. It's raining already stopped, right? It's no raining now at present. Okay, no issues. We'll continue the content. And just remember this, tomorrow there is a schedule, not at 8:30 tomorrow. At 10 o'clock you have to come here. I will take only 10 to 11:30 class. Okay, only tomorrow. Next day onwards, as usual, regular class only. You have to attend there. Just this 8:30 class is maybe very few days, max 4 or 5 days of time. Then continuously we have to attend the sessions at right at what time there? Directly 10 to 1, 10 to 11:30 and 11:30 to 1. Only in these timings only you have to attend. Right, sir. I think so. We are discussing about the differences between Java and others. Here we are discussing there. Almost all we are coming to the fifth difference. What is this fifth difference actually? If any programming language is representing data in the form of objects as per the object-oriented features, then that programming language is called as an object-oriented programming language. All right, how many number of object-oriented features here we are having there? Now we can understand class, object, encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, message passing. These are overall features here we are having clearly. All right, out of all these things, 4 features are the most powerful object-oriented features. What are the 4 most powerful object-oriented features here? First one is encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism. These 4 are the most powerful object-oriented features. Right. We started with inheritance. Next part is like what there? Inheritance. What exactly the meaning of inheritance? What is this inheritance actually? Inheritance is a relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from one class to another class. Inheritance is a relation between classes. In general, classes are having variables and methods only. To bring variables and methods from one class to another class, then that relation, the relation is providing variables and methods from one class to another class. That relation is called as what? Inheritance. In inheritance, the class which is providing variables and methods is called a parent class or base class, or what next one? Super class. Super class is the right terminology. Remaining two are just in general notations only. In inheritance, the class which is getting variables and methods is called a child class or derived class or subclass. Here also be subclass is the right terminology in Java. In Java, the terminology is like what they superclass, then what next one? No, subclass. These two are our actual Java terminologies. Java notations. The main advantage of the inheritance is what? Code reusability. The main advantage of the inheritance is what? There, code reusability. Right. Now we need to understand types of inheritances. What are the various types of inheritances are available? Here we have to understand it clearly. See this one. There are initially there are two types of inheritances. Initial, I'm telling you. Later on, three more types are generated. Three more types are provided. First one is like what there? Single inheritance. Second one is like what there? Multiple inheritance. Single inheritance, and next one is like what there? Multiple inheritance. These are the two types of inheritances initially. After this, on the basis of the above two types of inheritances, there are three more inheritances. On the basis of the above two types of inheritances, there are three more inheritances. What are the three more inheritances here we are having there? Right, sir. Now the first one is multi-level inheritance. Next one is hierarchical inheritance. After this, hybrid inheritance. Hybrid inheritance. These are overall three more types of inheritances are available clearly. Initially, two types of inheritances are available. Remaining one is what there? Remaining three more types of inheritances are available. Remaining three more types of inheritances are available. All right, sir. Overall, five types of inheritances are available. We can understand it clearly. Overall, how many types of inheritances there? Five types of inheritances. It's very clear. Last three things are not required immediately. In object orientation, in inheritance, I will discuss about these concepts. But as of now, my requirement is what there, this part. Multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. That point here I have to discuss there. So because of that reason, first I have to discuss about single inheritance. After that, we have to go with multiple inheritance. After that, I will confirm that multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. That is exactly the approach here I'm telling there. But the remaining three more types of inheritances are not at all required at present. That we are going to discuss it clear. That we are going to discuss there in the clear. All right, sir. Okay, fine. All right, sir. That's okay. All of you observe carefully. What is single inheritance? What is the meaning of single inheritance? We have to understand it clearly. What is a single inheritance? It is a relation between classes. It is a relation between classes. Okay. It will provide variables and methods from only one superclass to one or more subclasses. We don't have any conditional number of subclasses. We have conditional number of superclasses. Understand it clearly. From only one superclass, if you are getting variables and methods to any number of subclasses, then the relationship between the classes is called single inheritance. Everybody understand my point clearly? There is a relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from only one superclass to one or more subclasses. Good. How we are going to provide representation for single inheritance? How it is possible to provide representation for single inheritance? This is like what their class A, this is a class B. A relationship we are going to define for single inheritance by using arrow, upwards arrow. Now understand it. I need to declare class A as a superclass, class B as a subclass, class A as a superclass, and class B as what their subclass. Understand it clearly. All right, sir. In between these two, here we are having what their extends relationship. Between these two, here we are having like what their extends relationship. All of you understand it clearly. In a superclass A, in a superclass A, in a superclass A, I'm going to declare int I is equal to 10, void m1 method. Like this, I've taken some implementation. One variable, one method I declared in a superclass A. Same variable and same method we can access in subclass B without a redeclaration. Already declared that. Directly here, what I am telling there, I is equal to I plus 10. Directly we can call like what there M1 method. Understand it clearly? I variable and M1 method both are declared in superclass K, but both are accessed from the subclass B. Both are accessed from what there subclass B. This is nothing but reusability. Declared in one class, but reusing that in another class. Of course, in this case, I have taken only one subclass. We can take any number of subclasses. 10 subclasses we can take. In all 10 subclasses, we can reuse the members of class K. That means superclass is providing declarations. Subclasses are consuming the declarations. That means using the declarations. That's it. This is the meaning of like what there reusability. Now tell me here, how many superclasses are available here? Only one superclass. From only one superclass, we are getting variables and methods. So it is called as what? Single inheritance. Clear. Leave this point here. Now, okay, understand it clearly. Java does support single inheritance. Java does support single inheritance. Clear. That's okay. Java does support single inheritance. Then what about this multiple inheritance, kernel? Multiple inheritance. 1 minute. I'll explain to you. First of all, what is this? We need to understand this point here. What is this multiple inheritance? Almost all the same definition, but with a small change, Observe carefully. It is a relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from more than one superclass to one or more subclasses. Understand my point clearly? It is a relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from more than one superclass, more than one superclass to one or more subclasses. Java does not support multiple inheritance. Java doesn't support multiple inheritance. First of all, what is this multiple inheritance? Now let me explain that first. For example, this is one superclass. This is another superclass. This is another subclass. Now, okay, I want to give the diagrammatic representation like this only. Now this is like what I'm telling there, class K. This is a class B. This is a class C. Now here we are going to write the keyword extends. In Java, inheritance is represented with like what there extends keyword only. By using extends keyword only, inheritance is going to be represented. Right, sir. Right, sir. Now observe carefully. In a superclass K, int I is equal to 10 we have. The next one is like what there? Void M1 method here I have taken. Like this here we have taken one variable and one method. Now inside this M1 method, some X implementation here we have taken. In a class B superclass, into J is equal to 20 we have taken. Void M2 method here I have taken. Now here Y implementation here we have taken. Y body. Body of the method is like what there? Y. Alright, sir. Next one is what? After this, after completion of these two now, what next one here we are going to understand apart from this. Okay. In a class C subclass, in a class C subclass, in a class C subclass, I is equal to I plus 10 here we are having, J is equal to J plus 10 here we are having. Yes, of course, we are able to use them. Why? Because C is a child class for both the superclasses. Both the superclass members are available to class C. Both the superclass members are available to class C. Here I can call M1 method. Of course, it is coming from class A superclass. I'm calling M2 method. Now it is coming from like what there? Class B superclass. Understand it clearly. So, two superclasses are available. In both the superclasses, members are available. Then both the members are available to class C subclass. Class C subclass is a child class for both the superclasses A and B. Whatever the variables and methods we declared in superclasses, all these variables and methods are available to class C subclass. This is multiple inheritance. Okay, now here, what's the point I'm telling there? With this multiple inheritance, as of now, I don't have any problem. Right, it is not giving any problematic thing. It's a fair concept up to now. But still it is not allowed inside the Java. Still, the Java does not support this multiple inheritance. Even though we are not getting any problem, but still it is not supported in Java. Why it is not supported? Why Java is not supporting multiple inheritance? I will give one more example. There we can understand what exactly the reason why Java is opposing this multiple inheritance. Now try to understand it now. For example, I will take this is class A, this is class B, this is superclass. Inheritance relationship here I want to provide. In a inheritance relationship, for a single subclass, more than one superclass is available. Here I will provide class A, here I will provide class B. Okay. Now here I will provide class C, class C. Then after this, after completion of this class C, then what next one here we have to do? Now class C is a child class for class C is a child class for class A and class B. So here the relationship is like what there extends relationship here we are getting. The relationship is what there extends relationship here we are getting. Okay, sir. Now understand it clearly. Now here I'm giving clarity like what there. Into A is equal to into I is equal to 10 I have given. Void M1 method here I have taken. Here X implementation is available. In void M1 method, X implementation is available. All of you understand it clearly. Next one is in class B, superclass into I is equal to 20. Observe carefully. In class A, I is equal to 10. In class B superclass, I is equal to 20. Okay. Now here void M1 method. Again, I have taken M1 method. In class A, M1 method, X implementation is available. In class B, M1 method, Y implementation is available. Both the superclass are having same variable and same method with the different values and with the different implementations. Now here, in the class C, when we call I is equal to I plus 10, when we call M1 method, when I access I is equal to I plus 10, I value is required or not? Definitely I value is required. From which superclass I variable value is coming? From which superclass I value is coming? That's the question. From which superclass I value is coming there? If you take I values from class A superclass, I value is 10, I is equal to I plus 10, I is equal to 10 plus 10, 20. Is it 20? If you think I value is coming from class B superclass, if you think I value is coming from class B superclass, where I value is what there 20, I value is what there 20, I is equal to I plus 10, I is equal to 20 plus 10, 30. Is it 30? For example, when we access M1 method, M1 method is not available in class C. So definitely it has to get M1 method from the superclass. Unfortunately, M1 method is available in both the superclasses. From which is superclass, it has to take that M1 method implementation. If you think M1 method is coming from class A, superclass no, X implementation is going to be executed. Is that X implementation? And if you think class B, that means if you think M1 method is coming from class B superclass, in a class B superclass, M1 method is having Y implementation. Is it Y implementation? That we have to decide now. The compiler has to decide, that JVM has to decide, and finally we have to decide. Same variable with the different values, same method with the different implementations in both the superclasses. When we access that variable and method in the respective subclass, then from which is superclass this variable and method is coming. That's the situation now. Now it's a confusion or not? It's a confusion oriented state or not? Ambiguity state situation. The situation is what there? Ambiguity situation or is a confusion state? Because of this confusion state only, because of this ambiguity situation only, Java has taken decision. It don't want to allow that multiple inheritance as part of its programming. Why? Because multiple inheritance is providing confusion to the developers. But Java is a simple programming language. It should not allow all the confusion oriented features. Because of that reason only, this multiple inheritance is not available in the case of Java. Java totally removed multiple inheritance. Even though we are not having any problem with the second case, but still, as it is removing totally multiple inheritance, the second situation is also be not possible in Java. As it was removed totally multiple inheritance, the total situation, the second situation is also be not possible in Java. So, are you getting my point or not? So finally, here the point is like what? What I'm telling to you, the point, no? Here the point is like what I'm telling to you. Java does not support multiple inheritance. The situations may be anything. Confusion is there or not, that doesn't matter. Totally, Java has removed multiple inheritance. These are the points here we have to understand. Now let's see this one here clearly. Java does not support multiple inheritance. Now I'm giving some clarity. What's the clarity here I'm telling there? If we provide the same variable with different values and the same method with different implementations in both the superclasses, in both the superclasses, in both the superclasses. And if we access that variable and method in the respective subclass, and if we access that variable and method, in the respective subclass, then which is superclass provided variable and method will be accessed is a confusion state. Which is superclass variable and method will be accessed is a confusion state. Confusion state. Due to this reason, due to this confusion state, Java doesn't want to allow, Java does not allow multiple inheritance as part of its programming. Why? Because Java is a simple programming language. It must not allow the confusion oriented features. It must not allow the confusion oriented features. Right, sir. Because Java is a simple programming language, it must not allow the confusion oriented features. That's it. This is the point here I'm giving there clearly. If we provide the same variable and with the different values and the same method with the different implementations in both the superclasses, and if we access that variable and method, if we access that variable and method in the respective subclass, then which is superclass provided variable and method would be accessed is a confusion state. Which is superclass variable and method would be accessed is a confusion state. Okay. Due to this reason, due to this confusion state, Java does not allow multiple inheritance as part of its programming. Why? Because Java is a simple programming language. It must not allow the confusion oriented features. Right, the concept is very much clear. Now try to understand it now. Okay, good. Up to now it's okay. We understood that clearly. It's okay, fine. But here my point is what? Not allowing confusion. It's okay, fine. Not allowing multiple inheritance. How programmatically Java is restricting multiple inheritance? Programmatically, how it is able to restrict the multiple inheritance? What manipulations it has? Now the point is very clear. Java is able to avoid the multiple inheritance. Java is able to avoid the multiple inheritance. Java is able to avoid the multiple inheritance by defining the extends keyword. By defining the extends keyword in such a way that to allow only one superclass name, comma, not to allow more than one superclass name. Not to allow more than one superclass name. Please recognize this point clearly. Java is able to avoid the multiple inheritance by defining the extends keyword in such a way that to allow only one superclass name, not to allow more than one superclass name. Extends keyword is able to allow only one superclass name. Extends keyword does not allow more than one superclass name. Class A extends B. Status is like what there? Valid. Class A extends B comma C. Status is what there? Invalid. That's it. Valid and invalid cases now. In this way, multiple inheritance is avoided, is restricted inside the Java programming. Okay. Now understand the point here clearly. After that, already I given a diagram here regarding this. Try to recognize this diagram. First case is possible. It is a single inheritance only. Second case and third case are not possible. Multiple inheritances. Even though second case doesn't provide any confusion, but still it is not allowed. Why? Because of the third case. Because of what their third case. That's it. This is the total information related to what their multiple inheritance. Yes, sir. Are you getting clarity or not? Good. Can I move forward? Can I go for the next point? Right, sir. Now onwards, 6, 7, 8, 9. Four differences are remaining. They are very, very simple to complete. Simple points only, but we are going to understand it clearly. See this one, that another point is like what there. Destructors are required in C++, but distractors are not required in Java. Destructors are required in C++, but destructors are not required in Java. That's it. All right, sir. Just give a minute of time. Yeah, Nikita, are you getting this class, present class? Nikita, just respond for me. Are you there, Nikita? Yeah, Nikita, see. Yeah, then now at present you are getting class, right? Yeah, 10 o'clock class link you are not having, right? Yeah, I think our admin people have sent mail to you regarding this new link information. 10 o'clock for all the students. We submitted that link there. Okay, not even that. Just 1 minute, Nikita. I think you are accessing this document, right? Nikita, you are accessing this document, right? Yeah, current class document. No, have you reached for the course? Okay, at any situation, whatever it may be. Now see this one. I'm sending the links to the questions box. You see, understand it. 1 minute. I'm sending to you this link. 10 o'clock link I'm sending to you. Yeah, now we can observe this in the questions box. There I submitted link to you, Nikita. Have you seen that? One link I given to everybody. Okay, that is 10 o'clock class link. Next, I'm sending 11:30 link also for you. Now for all the members, I'm sending 11:30 class link also. Please now try to check this. Even 11:30 class link also I'm sending to you. Select, first of all, select that link in the panel. We are getting it. Okay. Now see this one. 10 o'clock class link and 11:30 class links. Both I'm sending to you. Even including today's class notes link also I'm sending to you. Already daily we are submitting links there. Everybody is attending the classes now. Classroom notes link and whoops link both I'm sending to you. Now try to select them. There we can identify it. Okay. No. Then in the very first day itself, I given the links information in the document. Yeah, in very first day itself. Now, not even before first day, before 10 o'clock class link, before 10 o'clock class. No, I given this both the links in the classroom notes. Everybody's using that classroom notes. Okay. No, just select it automatically that links. Okay. At least now open this classroom notes. Open this classroom notes, tinyurl.com/core-java 830 am notes. Even in the demo class notes, I'm giving this classroom notes link to everybody. Open this, there in the document, already that links are available. Okay, the document name is what? Introduction document. There, open it, there we can see that links information. Okay, okay, problem solved, right? Yeah, it's okay, thank you. All right, sir. Now understand the point here. Next one. Destructors are required in C++, but destructors are not required in Java. Got it? No? Destructors are required in C++, but destructors are not required in Java. So before going to understand whether destructors are required or not required in C and Java, but first of all, what is destructor? What is the role of the destructor in programming? After that, we are going to understand why destructors are not required in Java, why destructors are required in C++. First of all, tell me, when a programming language is an object-oriented programming language, when a programming language is an object-oriented programming language, if any programming language is able to represent the data in the form of objects as per object-oriented features, then that programming language is an object-oriented programming language. Am I right or not? Right, sir. It's okay, fine. Next one is what? After that, here the point is like what there. In object-oriented programming languages, it is a convention or it is a minimum to represent data in the form of objects. Clear? It is a convention to represent data in the form of like what they're objects. In object-oriented programming languages, in object-oriented programming languages, to represent data in the form of objects, first we have to create objects. First we have to create objects, comma, at the end of the program, we have to destroy objects. At the end of the program, we have to destroy objects. Understand it clearly. In object-oriented programming languages, to represent data in the form of objects, first we have to create objects. At the end of the program, we have to destroy objects. Good. Again, I'm telling there. In object-oriented programming languages, to create objects, we will use, tell me guys, to create objects, we will use constructors. This is required. Even in Java also it is required. To create objects, what is required here? No, constructors is required. Next one is to destroy objects, we will use destructors. To destroy objects, we will use what? Their destructors. They are the features. Now I'm asking one question to you. Now try to answer for it. What is the purpose of the constructor and destructor? Constructor can be used to create the objects. Destructors can be used to destroy the objects. Constructors for creating objects. Destructors for destroying objects. Clear cut information. Now try to understand it clearly. Now in Java, in C++, developers are responsible for creating objects and destroying objects. Developers must take the explicit responsibility for destroying the objects which are already created by the developers. So developers must use destructors explicitly. So C++ required destructors a feature. Destructors, C++ required destructors. And that's the conclusion here I'm telling you. So, all of you are getting it or not? In C++, developers are responsible for creating objects and destroying objects. So developers must use destructors explicitly. So C++ requires destructors. But now, in the case of Java, what is going on? Understand it clearly. In Java, listen, all of you listen carefully. The point what I'm telling to you. In Java, in Java, developers are responsible. Developers are responsible for creating objects. Developers are responsible for creating objects. Developers are not responsible for destroying objects. Understand, get the point. In C++, developers are responsible for creating objects and destroying objects. Now here the point is what there. In Java, developers are responsible for creating objects. Developers are not responsible for destroying objects. Okay, why? Because Java has provided an inbuilt tool. Java has provided an inbuilt tool in the form of garbage collector to destroy objects. Okay, so Java doesn't require what their destructors. Doesn't require what their destructors. Right, sir. Understand my point here? In Java, developers are responsible for creating objects. Developers are not responsible for destroying objects. Why? Because Java has provided an inbuilt tool in the form of garbage collector to destroy objects. So Java does not require destructors. That's it. Destructors are not required in Java. Why? Because Java has an object destructor internally. That's what their garbage collector. Due to the availability of garbage collector, destructors are not required in the case of Java. That's it. Now this is about like what are the destructors content here we understood clearly. Next one is what? After this, after completion of these destructors like this, no. The seventh point, observe carefully. C and C++. C and C++ are following call by value and call by reference parameter passing mechanisms. But Java follows only call by value parameter passing mechanism. Call by value parameter passing mechanism. Right, sir. Java does follow only call by value, but C++ does not follow call by, sorry, does follows both call by value and call by reference, but Java follows only call by value. Call by reference is not possible in Java, but call by reference is possible in the case of C and C++. That's the point here. C and C++ are following call by value and call by reference parameter passing mechanisms, but Java follows only call by value parameter passing mechanism. Right, sir. All of you observe carefully. Understand it clearly what I am telling to you. Everybody observe carefully. Now, before going to understand call by value, call by reference, both are followed or not followed. Both are followed or not followed. Call by value and call by reference, both are possible or not possible in a programming languages. First, we have to understand. What is call by value, what is call by reference. These things here we have to understand clearly. Now, all of you understand it clearly. In any programming language, if we pass primitive data. What is that? Primitive data as parameters to the methods or functions. If we pass primitive data as a parameters to the methods, then the programming language, if we pass primitive data as parameters to the methods, then the parameter passing mechanism is called by value parameter passing mechanism. That's it. What is call by value parameter passing mechanism? In any programming language or in all programming languages, if you pass primitive data, what is this primitive data actually? Byte, short, int, then what next one here? Long, float, double, boolean, character. All these are like what they are? Primitive data types. If you pass primitive data, byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, char as a parameters to the methods, then the parameter passing mechanism is call by value parameter passing mechanism. It's clear to all of you know? This is one thing. Next one is another point here. In all the programming languages, if we pass, listen carefully, if we pass address locations as parameters to the methods, in all the programming languages, if we pass address locations as parameters to the methods, then the parameter passing mechanism is called by reference. Then the parameter passing mechanism is what they called by reference. Okay. Right, sir. What is called by value? What is called by reference? That we understood clearly. Right, sir. In all the programming languages, if we pass address locations, not primitive data. Primitive data is different. Address locations are different. If you pass address locations as parameters to the methods, then the parameter passing mechanism is called by reference. Right, sir. Called by reference. Now here our required point is what? C and C++ have call by value and call by reference, but Java has only call by value, doesn't have call by reference. That's the point here. Now here, understand it clearly. In the C and C++ applications, in what there, C and C++ applications, if we pass pointer variable as a parameter to the methods, to the functions, pointer variable, we know already what's the meaning of pointer variable. Pointer is a variable, it able to store address locations of the data. Pointers are able to store what their address locations. Passing pointer variable as parameter in the sense, passing address location as parameter or not? Passing pointer variable as parameter in the sense, automatically address location we pass as parameter or not? Alright, sir. In C and C++ applications, if you pass pointer variable as parameter to the methods, then the parameter passing mechanism is called by reference. Why? Because what is the reason here? No. Why? Because in C and C++, pointer variables are able to, in C and C++, pointer variables are able to store address locations. Pointer variables are able to store what their address locations. That's it. Because of that reason, the parameter passing mechanism as what there parameter passing mechanism is what there called by reference. But now equivalent concept in the case of Java is what? Now observe carefully. In Java applications, if we pass, all of you understand it clearly, if we pass a reference variable, you know already what is the meaning of reference variable. The last class as I explained to you clearly, reference variable is a variable which holds the reference value of the object. Reference value is the hexadecimal form of hash code. Hash code is an unique identity provided by heap manager in the form of an integer value. Right or not? So in Java applications, if we pass a reference variable as a parameter to the methods, then the parameter passing mechanism is called by value only, not called by reference. Why? Because what is the reason here? Why? Because now tell me what is the next one here? No, why? Because in the Java applications, reference variables are able to store object reference value, which is not any address location. Okay, which is not any address location. It is the hexadecimal value of hexadecimal form of hash code, where hash code is an unique identity provided by heap manager It is the hexadecimal form of hash code, where hash code is an unique identity provided by the heap manager in the form of an integer value, in the form of like what there, an integer value. That's it. This is exactly the point here we can understand. In Java, even though if we pass a reference variable as parameter to the methods, still it is not called by reference. It is called by value only. Why? Because reference variable is not representing any address location. Reference variable is representing object reference value. Where what is this object reference value? Object reference value is a hexadecimal form of hash code. Hash code is what there is an unique identity provided by the heap manager in the form of an integer value. Hash code is integer value. Hexadecimal form of hash code is nothing but reference value. That reference value is stored by reference variable. So reference variable doesn't have any address locations. So because of that reason, even though if we pass reference variable as parameter to the methods, then the parameter passing mechanism is not called by reference. Still it is what there, called by value only. Right. Now this is that another difference here we understood clearly. Now come for this eighth difference. Another point, all of you observe carefully. Right, sir. Another thing is like what there. Say for example, operator overloading is not possible in Java. What is not possible in Java? Now tell me, sir. Operator overloading is not possible in Java. All right. Now we have to understand what is this operator overloading. What is the meaning of operator overloading? All the points here we have to observe clearly. Now see this one. If you want to understand this operator overloading, there we have to understand the content right from this point here. All right. Here. From this point onwards here we have to understand. You see this, all of you know. Operator overloading. First of all, I need to start with what there object-oriented programming languages. What are these object-oriented programming languages? No, if any programming language is representing data in the form of objects as per the object-oriented features, then that programming language is called an object-oriented programming language. Right or not? Next one is after that. There are seven numbers of object-oriented features. What are the seven numbers of object-oriented features? No, all right, we can understand. First one is class, and second one is like what their object. Third one is like what their encapsulation. Fourth one is what their abstraction. Now next one is like what there. Fifth one is inheritance, and the sixth one is what there, polymorphism, and the seventh one is what there, message passing. Class, object, encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism. Then what next one here? Message passing. These are overall the 7 number of object-oriented features. Out of all these things, now I don't require inheritance. I require like what their polymorphism. Here I require. Got it or not? There I require like what their polymorphism. Right, sir. What is this polymorphism now? Polymorphism. Polymorphism is like what there. Right, sir. What is polymorphism? Here, if you observe this, listen carefully. If one thing is existed in more than one form, if one thing is existed in more than one form, then it is called polymorphism. If one thing is existed in more than one form, it is called as what there? Polymorphism. Polymorphism. Right, sir. All of you understand it clearly. Right. Before that, I'm telling to you, what is this polymorphism actually? Polymorphism is a Greek word. Polymorphism is what there? Greek word, not English word. Where poly means many and morphism means structures or forms, either structures or forms. So this is the basic meaning of like what there? Polymorphism. Poly means many and morphism means structures. If one thing exists in more than one form, then it is called polymorphism. What is the main advantage of the polymorphism? What is the main advantage of the polymorphism? The main advantage of the polymorphism is, listen carefully, flexibility. The main advantage of the polymorphism is what there? Flexibility to develop the applications or in application development. Flexibility in the application development. What is that flexibility? Understand it clearly now. If one thing is available more than one form, so we can use either of this form. If one thing is available in only one form, with or without the force, we may use that form only. We don't have any advantage. If one thing is available more than one form, then we can select either of as per our requirement. Then which one is more flexible for us now? Which one is more flexible? If one thing is available more than one form, or one thing is available in only one form. One thing is available in only one form, in the sense no flexibility, restriction. We have to use that one only. No flexibility to use another alternative. But if one thing is available more than one form, there is an alternative for us. If first one is not interested, first one is not required, then we may go for second one. Second one is not available, then go for what there? Third one. Got or not? That's enough. This is the meaning of like what there? Flexibility. Polymorphism is providing what? Flexibility while developing the applications. These are the points here we have to understand clearly. Right, sir. After completion of this, there are two types of polymorphisms. What are the two types of polymorphisms? We can understand clearly. What are the two types of polymorphisms? First one is, observe carefully. There are two types of polymorphisms. First one is static polymorphism. Second one is dynamic polymorphism. First one is a static polymorphism, and second one is what there? Dynamic polymorphism. Right, sir. Now, what's the meaning of static polymorphism? All of you observe carefully. If the polymorphism is exhibited, polymorphism is existed at the compilation time. If the polymorphism is existed at the compilation time, then that polymorphism is a static polymorphism. If the polymorphism is existed at a compilation time, then that polymorphism is what there? Static polymorphism. Next one, example for static polymorphism is what there? Overloading. Next one is dynamic polymorphism. Dynamic polymorphism. If the polymorphism existed at the runtime, at the time of executing your program, if the polymorphism is identified, then that polymorphism is called dynamic polymorphism. If the polymorphism existed at the runtime, then that polymorphism is called dynamic polymorphism. Example for dynamic polymorphism is what there? Overriding. Overriding is an example for what there? Dynamic polymorphism. Now here our requirement is what? Overloading. Our requirement is what there? Overloading. I don't require overriding immediately. In object orientation, in a polymorphism, we are going to see this overriding and all. Again, overloading also we are going to see that. But in the introduction part, in the language, in the basics of the Java, I need to discuss about only what is what. That's why I'm discussing about this, what is overloading. Now observe carefully. There are two types of overloadings. What are the two types of overloadings? No. First one is method overloading. Second one is operator overloading. Method overloading. Next one is what there? Operator overloading. You'll understand something else like what there? Method overloading. In Java, it is Java related, but anyway, not required. I required only operator overloading. But understand the point here. What is this method overloading? If we provide more than one method with the same name and with a different parameter list, then it is called method overloading. If we provide more than one method with the same name and with the different parameter list, then it is called as method overloading. Say for example, I want to take a class A. Class A here I have taken. Okay. In a class A, say for example, void add method into I comma into j. Some implementation here I provided. That's it. Void add method float f1 comma float f2. Some implementation here we provided. So got or not? Void add of double d1 comma double d2. Some implementation here we are able to provide. Overall, now tell me what happened here now. Same method with a different parameter list. When different parameter list is available, body is also be different. Body is also be different. This is called as what there? Method overloading. Forget it. That is not our actual point here. Our actual point is like what there? Operator overloading. Operator overloading. Right, sir. What is this operator overloading actually? Observe carefully. If we declare an operator with more than one operation, if we declare an operator with more than one operation, What is it? Now come again. If we declare an operator with more than one operation, then it is called operator overloading. Example I'm telling there. Operator is single, but its functionalities are more than one. Multiple functionalities are available. Then it is called as what there? Operator overloading. Example I'm telling to you. Observe carefully. Int A is equal to 10. Int B is equal to 20. Int A is equal to 10. Int B is equal to 20. Int C is equal to A plus B semicolon. Int C is equal to A plus B semicolon. Observe carefully. Now here system dot out dot println of C. Next one. String str1 is equal to ABC. String str2 is equal to DEF. String str3 is equal to str1 plus str2. System dot out dot println of str3. All of you observe carefully. Here we are using plus operator. Here also we are using plus operator. Here plus operator is for arithmetic addition. Here plus operator is for what there? Arithmetic addition. Here plus operator is for string concatenation. Am I right or not? Here plus operator is for what there? String concatenation. Now here. Right, sir. Now here. Now tell me, what is the output for this C here? What we are getting the value? 10 plus 20. Here the value is 30 or not? Arithmetic addition operation here we are performing. But here, what is that output? No, str1 plus str2, str3 value here we are getting ABC plus DEF here we provided. Now that output is what there? ABC, DEF. This is string concatenation. Now how many plus operators here we have used there? Only one operator. But how many functionalities are available? Multiple functionalities are available. That means 1 plus is available in multiple forms or not? Plus is 1, but available in multiple forms or not? One is for arithmetic addition, other one is for what there? String concatenation. Is it not the meaning of polymorphism? Polymorphism definition is what? One thing is available in more than one form. Plus is available in more than one form. Then polymorphism. This is called as what there? Polymorphism. Alright, sir. Okay. What is polymorphism here? We understood. What is method overloading? Here we understood. Sorry, operator overloading here we understood. Now the point is what? Observe carefully. Java does not support operator overloading. Java does not support operator overloading. Java does not support operator overloading. Why? Because some reasons are available. Now understand it clearly. Reason number one. Operator overloading is a rarely used feature. Operator overloading is a rarely used feature. Sir, got it or not? Operator overloading is a rarely used feature in the application development. Okay, this is point number one. Next one is, so because of this reason, Java doesn't have any concentration on this operator overloading. It's almost all dead in application development. Second one, if we declare more operators, more operations with more operators, if we declare more operations with more operators, then it will be a confusion to trace which operator is performing which operation is a confusion. If we declare more operations with more operators, then it will be confusion to trace which operator is for which operation, which operator is performing which operation. What operator for what operations, there's a confusion. We are unable to trace it. Which operator is performing which operation is a confusion statement. Already Java is a simple programming language. It doesn't allow all the confusion oriented features. Yes, sir. Got my point or not? This is a clear-cut information here. We have to understand clearly. Java does not support operator overloading because of these many features clearly. Yes, sir. All of you are getting it or not? What I'm telling you. It's okay, fine. This is the clear-cut analysis here. What you are having, try to recognize this clearly now. Got it or not? Now I have a question now. What about this question here? We are saying that it is representing operator overloading. At the same time, we are saying that Java does not support operator overloading. Now tell me, is this code is not possible in Java? Is it executable in Java? Yes, it is possible in Java. But how can you say that operator overloading is not available in Java? I get my question now. This code is possible in Java. It is executable. But at the same time, we are saying that operator overloading is not possible in Java. But how can you say that? Right, I'm going to give some clarity. Now try to understand this note, small note. As per Java internal requirement, as per Java internal requirement, Java, as per Java internal requirement, Java made some of the predefined operators, like plus comma, star comma, percentage comma, and so on, as overloaded operators with the fixed operations. Some of the operators are declared as what they're overloaded operators, where plus is one of the overloaded operators. That plus has a predefinedly arithmetic addition and a string concatenation. Up to that only we are able to use. If you want to define new functionality for plus operator explicitly, not possible in Java. Some of the predefined operators are declared as overloaded operators with the fixed operations, but Java has not provided any option for the developers. To define operator overloading explicitly. Java has not provided any option for the developers to define operator overloading explicitly. I want to define operator overloading. It is not possible. Yes, sir. I'll forget my point or not. Operator overloading is not possible explicitly if you want to define that. Understand it clearly what I'm telling you. That's it. So this is the clear-cut information here. We have to understand the content like what their operator overloading here. Only one point is remaining. That point I will discuss with you on next class, not on tomorrow. Tomorrow no class at 8:30. Tomorrow we have to come at what time here? No, 10 o'clock only. 10 to 11:30 I will take the session. No, just directly we can come at 10 o'clock tomorrow. Only tomorrow. Day after tomorrow onwards, 8:30 until the completion of these concepts. No, okay, introduction part here. Okay, right. So take 5 minutes break and come back. I'll start object orientation now. Thank you. Yeah, guys, then just to take 5 minutes break and come back. I'll start 10 o'clock class. 10 o'clock class is already provided, guys. Don't get confusion. No, try to use the 10 o'clock link. Okay, thank you.